For your, as you so eloquently put it, Fred, your home football New England team, very few games circled on the calendar to start this season. When you're looking at the schedule and you're trying to find your wins, probably not there, not that. This is one. This is one that probably, if you thought you were going to have any kind of a season, you probably thought they were going to drop the season opener on the road against the Bengals, but you would come home, and if you were going to get a win in the first 4, 5, 6 games, this would be the one. And you circled this home matchup against the Seahawks. Geno Smith, new head coach. How tough could it be? Well, the Patriots flipped the script a little bit by winning their season opener on the road against the Bengals, and then yesterday looked like they might be adding to that script as Jacoby Brissett hooked up early and often with a certain tight end.
Now the 1st and 10 after the 8-yard completion from the Seattle 43. Douglas motions to the near side, short side of the field. And then reverses direction left with Stevenson behind Brissett. Play fake by Jacoby. Under rush. He somehow avoids it. He runs to the right with a ball fake. He throws it. He finds the tight end. And Henry is shorter down at the 31.
Hunter Henry. All of a sudden, you're hooking up. It's like Brady Gronkowski all over again.
I call
Are you kidding me?
It's inspiration point. They're hooking up. By the way, Jacoby Brissett, give him some credit for being slippery.
Yes.
He was slipping in and out of things.
He needed to, but yes, that's true.
Well, yes, he's going to get killed.
If that offensive line cannot block.
No,
at
they
all.
cannot pass block. That's for sure.
No, run just like week 1. Run block good, pass block bad.
And what are you paid to do, though? You're paid to pass block.
Well, that's not important for this
I believe that's the
conversation.
more difficult of the two.
Well, they're doing well right now, Fred. Hunter Henry is catching passes. They look good right this second.
Yes, Hunter Henry is.
Hunter Henry is
How about
catching
everyone
passes.
else?
Well, you got wide receivers.
All season in 2023, 1 for 4 last week in Cincinnati. It's a 2nd and goal to go. Quick snap to Brissett. In the pocket, fires to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Jalen Polk, his first as a Patriot. And New England takes the lead.
Hell yeah, they do. Finding Jalen Polk in the end zone, and all of a sudden you got a 7-0 football game, and it looks like you're on your way to 2-0 to start the season, baby.
5 catches from receivers yesterday.
Three catches.
Fred, don't spoil it.
Three catches. They were targeted 5 times.
So 2 tight ends. So the 3. Okay.
3.
1, 2, 3, 4. Not 4. Okay.
3, and one of them was in overtime.
Okay.
Polk had 2 catches during regulation. Osborne had 1 catch in overtime.
Oh, that's right. Okay, there you go. All right, my
John,
bad.
I don't have the box score in front of me. Can you tell me how many catches DeMario Douglas had on how many targets?
That would be 0 for both.
He was not targeted.
Wait, he must have been targeted at least a time or two.
No.
He was
You've
not
only
targeted.
got 2 receivers out there. How many times was he targeted?
0.
Oh, 0. 0 targets for Pop Douglas.
And Pop Douglas has not done anything this year, and I can't imagine that's has anything to do with Brissett. I can't imagine that's his fault.
It's got a little something to do with Brissett because, and this happens every week in every team. Somebody isolates, they get not the all 22 yet, but they'll screen grab the all 22 shot that they will show up, throw up on the broadcast every once in a while, and they will circle open wide receivers. DeMario Douglas has been open in these first 2 games.
Okay,
he's been open a handful of times.
When he's been open, though, has Brissett been under siege? Or, I mean, is Brissett sitting back in the pocket, having time to look at the field and then seeing DeMario Douglas open?
There's
different kinds of open.
It doesn't matter with Jacoby Brissett because he's not equipped to find these guys anyway.
Any quarterback, if given time, will find at least one open receiver once in a while. Any quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Brissett's not getting any time to throw.
Did you see them in a 2-minute drill at the end of the first half? Did you see them in overtime? Brissett has no chance. No chance. At the end of regulation, they had 55 seconds left. They were back in their own end. You might as well put them in the parking lot. They had no chance to move the football.
Well, yeah, I don't really blame Brissett or the receivers. I mean, the receivers suck. You'll recall last week, I don't hear you disagreeing this week.
I don't know. We just listened to a Jalen Polk touchdown.
Clearly, he's pretty good. He got open in the end zone, Fred.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Wallach.
right. Well, if you watch the tape, I read, of week 1. Polk was doing a lot of good things. You don't always have to catch the ball to be a very effective receiver.
Did he catch?
I don't have to read about someone watching the tape. I watch the tape. I get in the lab and I watch the tape.
7
That's a
points,
waste of
Fred.
time.
Right now
Yeah.
they're winning. They're winning because Jalen Polk caught a touchdown pass.
Everyone's being very sarcastic, but I'm serious. I now no one's going to know if we're being serious. or
Okay,
not.
here's
We've got him
here's something
far
serious.
too dry.
Here's something serious. Okay, things can happen for a football team when there are a convergence of factors. Number one, you have a quarterback who can throw. Number two, you have a really good receiver who can get open. And also, number three, you get coverage blown so badly, it really doesn't matter if the guy can throw or the guy can get open.
Seahawks showed some tempo on the first drive. Now the 2nd and 5 from the 44-yard line. Again, 3 receivers right, 2 left in the empty set. Geno Smith, where's the play sheet on his big left wristband? Checking out of the play. He's in the gun. Left foot forward. Still a 3-by-2 set. Tight end in motion to the left. Shotgun snap. Long ball down the left side, wide open. Metcalf in stride at the 20 by his lonesome. High step into the end zone.
He brought a backside blitz with Tavai on a late hug blitz. I'm watching the blitz. This had to be a busted coverage because Gonzalez has followed him all around the field since the snap of the first play. So he's underneath with Doug over the top. There had to be a miscommunication here.
Fair to say Christian Gonzalez was expecting some safety help on that DK Metcalf reception. He was all alone.
Yeah, there's this whole narrative before the game that Geno Smith's this terrible quarterback, and it's just not true. I mean, Geno Smith's a average to slightly above average quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, it's funny because these guys get labeled, and I see why. Like, Geno Smith sucked when he played when he was a kid, but then they're in the league. Did you see Sam Darnold yesterday? I mean, like or Baker Mayfield. Like, if you're can buy time and be in the NFL, these guys are all talented. I mean, Geno Smith was his first quarterback taken in the draft he was taken. He was a 2nd-round pick, but he was the first quarterback taken. Now, embarrassing stuff happened to him. He got hit in the face in the locker room when he was on the Jets, and he was terrible. But it is interesting to me. Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold all won yesterday. Mm-hmm. They all had good games, and they were all written off as jokes. Like, they were jokes. They were punchlines. And they had good games and were partially at least a good part of the reason their teams won yesterday. It just shows you how when you give up on a court, and Geno Smith and Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield wouldn't have succeeded where they were. It just wasn't working out. But if these guys are given another opportunity or a couple other opportunities, once the game slows down for them, it shows that they can play. I just find that interesting. How many of these quarterbacks that have flared out would have worked if someone would have kept them on a roster and given them another chance, is my point.
I think it's fair, and you also have to consider, what's the personnel, what are you surrounding them with,
exactly.
Who you coaching them up with, and Fred, to your point, if maybe your receiving core, let's just say they're not gelling with your quarterback, or maybe your quarterback isn't quite getting things done, you go back to the ground, and that's what the Patriots did.
2 receivers right, direct snap to Stevenson. He runs it to the left side, and he's in for the touchdown. The Patriots take the lead.
And that made it 2017 on the direct snap to Ramondre Stevenson.
He might be a pro. He might be all pro. I mean, the way he's going, I'm telling you, he's going to run for 100 yards next week. I'm telling you right now, on Thursday or this week, he's going to run for 100 yards.
Fantastic.
At least. I'll tell you that.
He's going to get the ball a ton.
Well, he got the ball 21 times yesterday for 81 yards, but he did not lead the rushing charge in terms of yardage yesterday. There was someone who we'll get to who carried the ball about half as much, but thanks to a couple of long runs, ended up stealing the spotlight here. You want to hear this guy? Oh.
As the Patriots near
Antonio!
Osborne trots to
Antonio!
The receivers right. Henry, the tight end, left. Shotgun snap to Brissett. Shovel pass to Gibson. Runs away from a defender somehow. Sprint past the 30.
Way to go, Scott.
Chased by 3 Seahawks.
Oh, no. Touchdown.
No, it's not a touchdown.
Not a touchdown, but a 45-yard gain.
Okay, but because he's slowed down to stiff arm the guy who is creeping up on his 6.
Yeah.
Like, why are you slowing down? What are you doing?
All right, Top Gun.
Well, seriously.
On his 6.
It was
I understood
impressive.
what he meant.
Antonio
I know,
Gibson was
too, but it's
impressive
just a
yesterday,
dumb
but
way to
on
say.
this run right here,
Caught and tackled across the near sideline.
caught because you stopped and you turn around and you're going to stiff arm the guy who's coming up on your flank. Just keep going.
Oh, no.
By Witherspoon. Antonio Gibson somehow avoided a loss on the flip from Brissett. And he runs it to the Seattle 23-yard line.
That's the risk defensively when you bring 10 guys up around the line of scrimmage. If you crease it, you're off. You're off to daylight. And that's what he did. Boom. Creases, breaks 2 tackles. He's off to the safety. If it's not for the backside safety, that thing's gone.
I'll tell you this, is Scott is a lot better than a lot of these guys. If you're in the car, there's stations that play, they go game to game, like at 4 o'clock. Like I wasn't watching all the 4 o'clock games. Like they go game to game and they go to the local broadcasts. The Steelers have a great play-by-play guy, and then just a buffoon as the color commentator.
Not Myron Cope anymore?
Yeah,
no, that's the play-by-play guy's good. It's just this buffoon.
But they figure if they have a competent, like explain what's going on play-by-play guy, let's just have, some goof, some former player, somebody in there to provide some fun. Zoe is giving you as much information as Sosi does, and I mean they've really fallen into a rhythm. I know people still goof on Zoe for, shouting and getting excited.
Well, every single guy does.
I just say if you're goofing on him, listen to the actual calls. Listen to the things that he tells you. And I've learned as much over the last 15 years about football, listening to the calls of the game on this radio station from Zoe and Sosi than you can anywhere else. And that's because he's doing an actual good job of analyzing the play after it's completed.
He'll tell you why it happened.
Right, he just did. He told you. He told you. You bring 10 guys up to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
All you have to do is crease it. And unless you've got a safety back, that guy's gone. And
you get the reaction, you get the unicorns and show ponies, but you also say, wow, well, this is why I started screaming.
Yeah, Craig Wolfe is the...
Who?
The Craig Wolfe, ex-offensive lineman, is the color commentator for the Steelers.
Okay.
And he's a buffoon. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, like, he's a fun buffoon. But he's like, oh, boy, I used to do that a time, too. But he did attend South Hills Bible Chapel under the pastoral leadership of Dr. John H. Munro.
He did what?
His personal life. I'm at his Wikipedia.
Yeah, okay. Give it to me again.
Okay, so it says, I'll just give this. He was born in 1958. He's a former football player and current analyst for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
He went to Syracuse. He was a 5th-round pick. He played from 80 to 89 for the Steelers, 90 to 91 for the Vikings. His personal life. Wolfe attended South Hills Bible Chapel under the pastoral leadership of Dr. John H. Munro.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how he got the broadcasting gig, though. He went to Syracuse, so he probably took a degree.
Like our own
Broadcast
Ryan
journalism.
Johnston. Kaboom.
Nicely done.
All right, what's going on? You tell me. Where are we at in the game?
We left off in the fourth quarter after the Seahawks had a bad possession. They had a holding penalty. Keon White sack set up a 3rd and 27, so they punted. And then Antonio Gibson got loose on a 45-yard run. So, deep into territory. Patriots up 3. About 4 minutes left on the clock. Kick a field goal to go up 6.
The officials will mark the ball at the 30-yard line. So this will be
Nobody's open either, though.
a 48-yard field goal try by Joey Sly toward the north end of Gillette. In that open corner in the Lighthouse, of course. Trying to make this a 6-point game. Cardona's snap, handled by Behringer. Sly's kick is blocked. It's blocked and bounding toward the goal line. And it's going to roll to the back of the end zone. With Seattle coming up with a huge play, and as a result, getting terrific starting field position. And again, the further back you go, the lower the kick.
Sacks a killer.
Yep. 3:52 left in the game at that point, and the Patriots holding on to a 3-point lead.
Yeah. It's not the greatest place to have a block kick.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Seattle did manage to drive it down 47 yards in 9 plays after that. I mean, not a lot of impressive offense in the second half. By the way, Jacoby Brissett did start off by completing a lot of short passes. He was 7 for his first 8 pass attempts, but then he went through a stretch where he had 7 incompletions in a row.
Because Seattle, like the rest of the league in the future, are now going to sit on all the short routes. Phil Perry had a stat this morning. The longest ball that he threw the entire day was 20 yards, and that was a wheel route to Ramondre Stevenson, which was a floater up the right sideline. They can't throw the ball deep because they can't pass protect long enough for him to do that. So now teams understand that, and more to your point, Hardy, they took all the short routes away. So he had nothing. He had no chance at all. And you heard Zolak in that clip. He said right before the kick, there's nobody open anymore.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
They can't play May. I mean, they can't because they have no receivers and and the offensive line can't pass block. This would be a disaster. You can't put a kid that you value into that situation.
Oh, of course not.
Brissett's a sacrificial lamb. In fact,
But by the way, that was a first guess. Before the season started, we all sat here and said that you can't play this kid behind that offensive line.
But now it's obvious. I mean, people were saying after week 1, like, why don't you play him? Like, you can't.
No.
So here's the deal, is that if I'm the Patriots, I'm really looking into getting a veteran to back up Brissett, just to have around, even on the practice squad, just to have a guy that could come in. I wouldn't even put him on. You put him on the practice squad at first, but I mean, I don't. This insistence on keeping Joe Milton. If Brissett gets hurt, which he will.
Yeah, there were 2 plays yesterday I thought he wasn't getting.
And in week 1, we thought he was hurt too. Like, Brissett's going to get hurt. He just is.
He's probably hurt already, but he's going to get injured and can't and won't.
Yeah,
be able
right.
to play.
Yeah, he'll miss time. And the thing is that I wouldn't feel comfortable putting May into a game now. Like, if Brissett gets hurt, like, say Thursday night, short week, Brissett gets hurt in the second quarter, you want Drake May running around behind that line with no receivers? Because he can't.
Your offense is limited enough as it is.
Because he's not going to be able to get the ball out of his hands quickly for 2 reasons. 1, he's never done it before, and 2, no one's going to be open. And so he's going to have to hold the ball for – if you get it out in a second and a half, then good. But he's going to have to hold on the ball 4 seconds. He's going to get killed. And then he's going to get all spooked, and then he's going to go to another team in 5 years and be good. That's what will happen. I don't like the way that this team is set up. All to keep Joe Milton. Ugh.
So a lot of timeouts left at the end of the games, at the end of regulation. So both teams actually had possession of the ball in the final minute. Came up short. Coin toss. Patriots win. Elect to take the ball. 3 and out on their opening drive in overtime. Meanwhile,
Can't convert to 3rd and 1.
no.
Well, their left tackle was Caden Wallace at that point. You know, you had your starting left tackle, Vidarian Lowe, standing over on the sideline. Looked like the independent spotter was evaluating him. And Chukwueze left during the week, so you had to flip the rookie, Caden Wallace, who hadn't played left tackle, over to left tackle, and 3 and out. Guess what? Can't block. That seems to be a theme with this team. So you punt the ball away and...
Oh, so you punt the ball away, and then, yes, the Seahawks get far enough down the field to set up what could be a game-winning field goal. I don't know. I can't remember what happened.
So Myers will come on to attempt the game winner. And again, as a former shot
skip
to win
ahead.
it from 31. Near hash mark toward the lighthouse. Stall snap handled by Dixon. The kick by Myers to the uprights is good. And the Seahawks have come to Foxborough and won it over the Patriots. Another tight one between these two teams, and Seattle will prevail for the 4th straight time over the Pats in regular season play as they spoil the home opener for Gerard Mayo's team.
So
I like how he says the lighthouse. He puts you almost like you're in the stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was a lot of controversy over who rang the bell yesterday.
Oh, very disrespectful. How dare you bring Malcolm Butler out there, the Super Bowl hero against the Seahawks, to ring the bell and troll your visitors. You're supposed to be gracious hosts. Oh, why don't you tell? Who cares? Bring Malcolm Butler back. Yeah, they've done. I think they should keep doing more for Malcolm Butler. after benching him in the Super Bowl and never explaining why it happened. You know what? Bring him back on a camp contract. Give him the $250,000 or whatever he made for 4 practices.
They did bring him back 2 years ago.
I know.
Didn't
Do it
work
again.
out too well.
Why not? Just give him money. I don't know if it's hush money or what.
Give him money.
We keep hearing that we're going to get the full story. That's what Malcolm Butler told us a couple of years ago at the Super Bowl. He's going to write a book. He's going to tell the story. I asked him flat out. I'm like, do you feel like maybe they're just doing you a solid by bringing you back into camp, even though that you didn't make the team? Come on back. Here's a contract. He goes, oh yeah. He pretty much admitted to it. He's like, yeah, there was, I wanted to make the team, but yeah, that was a solid they did me, bringing me in, giving me a couple $100,000 for, a week or 2 at camp. Absolutely. They keep playing nice with him because there's some kind of deal in place about that story never getting out. And Malcolm Butler insists that he still doesn't know why he was benched in the Super Bowl. He knows.
Oh, yeah.
And Belichick knows. Those are the two guys who know.
Don't you think it would be maybe the Eagles could bring him back to ring the bell the next time they play the Patriots? Or whatever they do, throw batteries as Santa Claus, whatever they do in Philadelphia.
It's not a bell ringing, it's a battery throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just assault someone. They run naked on the field. It's the running of the nudes.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.